In today's Leeds news, academy involvement in pre-season, Milinkovic-Savic decision made, Harrison's situation is complex, and today's rumour mill stories on Ndidi Guessand, Mateo Joseph and Wilfred Ndidi. Morning folks, welcome back to The View. Monday morning the 14th of July with your Leeds United news. It is desperately quiet around the place, but you get the feeling something's going on at Leeds today. We'll see if anything actually does materialise. It's a relatively quiet day from a news perspective, but I'll give you the detail of what's floating around today. Just a real quick final reminder, the Content Creator Cup takes place this coming Sunday at the John Charles Stadium for Sport, July 20th, 1pm kickoff. We have a bar. If you want to come and have a pint in the sun, you can do that as well. The lads will be sticking around afterwards as well, but you can check that out if you want. The details down below, and donations more importantly down below for Prostate Cancer UK. And also we have partnered with the Fanatics group as well, so if you want to buy your Leeds United official merch, there are links down below that will bring you to the official Leeds page, and we'll get a kickback here which helps the channel to grow and keep investing in the upgrades that we're doing currently in the channel, so you can check that out. Let's crack on. Let's start with the news, and we'll start with academy involvement in pre-season. And we all want to see the academy prospects make the grade at Leeds United and their involvement wherever possible throughout a season. And the current crop of under 16s, under 18s and under 21s have got a few strong hopefuls that could push on and make the grade at Elland Road. The Leeds senior side are back in training now for 1 week, and some of the younger players have been involved in the pre-season training so far. Charlie Crew, back from his loan at Doncaster, obviously is involved in this and was expected to be involved in it, but he is expected to go back out on loan this season to potentially League One club or Championship club. Doncaster, after their promotion, are seen as favourites to bring Charlie Crew back to the club. Sam Chambers, who made his breakthrough last season, now appears to be part of the senior setup between the under-21s and the senior side. And Harry Gray has also been involved in senior training all of this week as well, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise given the involvement towards the back end of last season. But Leeds' highly rated 19-year-old keeper Rory Mahady was rumoured to be expected to be involved in the pre-season training this summer, and that has now been confirmed as he has been pictured as part of the group and is expected to travel to Stockholm at the weekend with the senior side. Mahady signed a 3-year deal at the club recently and is very, very highly rated and is expected to be Leeds under-21's #1 goalkeeper next season, and at 19 years of age has plenty of room and age to grow into that position as well. Very good keeper. We'll see how he gets on over the course of the year. Let's move into another goalkeeper story and possibly a bookend on this one. And with Napoli on the verge of a massive payday and the sale of Victor Osimhen, they now appear to have the funds to reach the release clause of Torino goalkeeper Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Leeds' interest in the keeper had been described as ambitious, and Leeds had said initially themselves they weren't overly confident of getting a deal done for the keeper. Over the weekend, Milinkovic-Savic made it very clear that his preference was to play for Napoli and Antonio Conte, and the factor of European football being involved in that was said to be a major decision maker for him. Last week, Milinkovic was described by Leeds sources as the least likely of the keepers on their shortlist to come to Leeds, with Lucas Perry seen as their preferred and priority candidate for that goalkeeping position this season coming. However, that is not going to be straightforward either. There is plenty of competition in Perry, and Leon's situation is very up in the air to say the least right now. At this point, it seems that we can rule Milinkovic-Savic out of a move to Leeds. Report today say that a deal has been agreed between Napoli and Torino, and that personal terms have also been agreed for the goalkeeper. So at this point, we should probably just write this one off and move on with the release clause being paid. Of the 4 keepers that were linked, Pope, Zetner, Milinkovic-Savic and Perry, all 4, and Livakovic as well thrown into the mix, all very, very good goalkeepers. All will be seen as upgrades on what Leeds have right now, so still okay in that position. Would have loved Milinkovic-Savic, but there are other goalkeepers. His passing stats aren't great, it's the only downside to him, but we'll see what happens on this one. But yeah, Milinkovic-Savic looks like it's not going to happen. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Jack Harrison situation at Leeds, and one of the players likely to dominate the rumour mill exits specifically over the next couple of weeks is Leeds United winger Jack Harrison. Harrison returned to Leeds United for the first time in 2 seasons last week and has been involved in pre-season training. But former Leeds United goalkeeper Paul Robinson said last week that he expects Jack Harrison to move on this summer and doesn't see him as having a future at the club. Now, according to a piece from Isaac Johnson in Leeds Life, he says that club sources have described Jack Harrison's situation as complex and could not confirm if he would travel with the squad to Stockholm to play Manchester United this weekend. Harrison has 3 years left on his current Leeds United deal, and Johnson says that missing pre-season involvement for anything other than an injury would be a strong indicator that Harrison is not part of Daniel Farke's plans this season. Harrison is on a very high wage at Leeds and is seen as one of the highest earners at the club, so from a PSR perspective, getting Harrison's wage off the bill will be a big help for Leeds for any major incomings they get this summer, and getting a decent fee as well would be nice to add that to the bill, because with 3 years left, there's not a huge book value on him, but it would be nice to get a decent fee for him. But after last season's performances, it's unlikely. Everton are said to still be interested in Harrison. However, the wages are said to be a factor in that one as well. There will be plenty of road to cover on Jack Harrison over the course of the next couple of weeks. We'll see where it goes. Most people have made their feelings clear on this one in the comments and the poll that we ran a couple of weeks ago, the quiz poll a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see what happens with this. But as of right now, he is involved in pre-season training. We might get a better indicator coming the end of this week when we see what squad goes out to play in Stockholm. Let's move on. I'll move into the rumour mill territory and we'll start off today's rumour mill. And as I always say with the rumour mill stuff, take this all with a massive pinch of salt. I personally don't believe any of these will happen, but I'll give you the rumours. You can decide whether you believe them or not. We'll start off with Wilfred Ndidi. And according to several sources floating around today, Leeds, Everton, Crystal Palace and Manchester United are all said to be interested in a move for Leicester City's central defensive midfielder, Wilfred Ndidi. Ndidi could leave Leicester this summer after relegation was confirmed from the Premier League from them last season, and with some likely financial rebalancing and PSR to be taken into consideration for Leicester this season, and a likely points deduction, an exit could very well be on the cards for Ndidi. Ndidi, at 28 years of age, ticks the box for the 49ers in terms of what they're looking for. A vastly experienced midfielder, a very good midfielder, that should be said as well, and one personally that I will be very in favour of Leeds bringing in this summer. Do I believe this to be a real link? No, I don't. We'll see. But I do like the player. I do think he's a good player. Of that Leicester squad last year, he's a very solid midfielder. I would be very interested in bringing him in. But we'll see. We'll see. Road to cover on that one as well. Let's move on. Let's talk about a striker interest. And this is a name that popped up a couple of weeks ago and has popped up again. But I will caveat by saying this is coming from Graham Bailey at the boot room. So chunky pieces of salt needed with this one. Bailey reckons that Leeds, Sunderland and Brentford are all said to be interested in Nice striker Evan Guessand, who has played his entirety at the French club. The 24-year-old has 21 goals and 13 assists in his 108 games for the club. But the source on this, as I say, isn't reliable. Also, the detail within this story is incredibly fluffy. He's linking Leeds with Guessand, Josh Sargent and other strikers as well. There seems to be a lot. Calvert-Lewin seems to be a lot of the more available strikers that they're looking at trying to link, and this could be agent talk at this point in window. But Evan Guessand is a growing talent across Europe, very much. 24 years of age, good age, lots of room to grow. I don't know if it's likely. Let's move on. Let's talk about a rumoured exit from the club, and this one won't surprise many people, and it's Mateo Joseph. According again to Bailey in the boot room, he says that Real Betis are continuing to push for a deal to get Mateo Joseph to the club this summer. At the beginning of the transfer window, Bailey said that Leeds United, Real Betis and Mateo Joseph had all agreed on all the packages and deals and everything involved around an £8 million fee for Joseph to move to Betis. That was an exclusive from Bailey at the time. This has then turned out to be false. It didn't happen, and £8 million was not agreed by anybody, and it sat on the shelf for the last couple of weeks. Bailey has now stated this time around that he believes a fee closer to £24 million is being discussed, and Joseph is said to be in favour of the move to Spain. Joseph is unlikely to be a starter for Leeds United this season and is unlikely to get a huge amount of minutes off the bench, considering Leeds have brought in Lucas Mecha and are looking for an additional number 9 this summer, and Patrick Bamford's come back looking like the Hulk. So all of that put together, it seems unlikely that Mateo Joseph will get a huge amount of minutes. So an exit from his perspective makes perfect sense, especially at the current age that he is and the part of his development that he's in. An exit would make sense. The fee is far better than what was being initially discussed at £8 million, and it would offer pure PSR profit for Leeds and make an awful lot of money for the club, and probably help in bringing in more players of a higher calibre this summer. However, as I say, this is coming from Graham Bailey, massive pinch of salt, but Bailey is adamant in this situation that this deal will happen, and he believes Mateo Joseph will go to Real Betis. All of the links from Betis to Joseph have come from either Tuto Mercato or from Graham Bailey. They're the two primary sources on this. Everybody else is picking it up from aggregate sites, but these are the origins of this story, and we'll have to wait and see. It's a very likely move. For me personally, I think it could very much happen. I personally would like to see him go there on loan, give us a chance to have a look and see what he can do as a main striker, give him time to develop, and then maybe sell him on for a bigger fee or bring him back in the number 9 for Leeds down the road. You'd never know, but probably not ready just yet. Needs more time. Whether Leeds can afford to give him that time in the situation that they're in remains to be seen, or do they cash in now? But 24 million, I'd be sticking a nice chunky sell-on clause on that as well, just in case he does manage to hit the heights that is expected. A lot of people reckon that Mateo Joseph, who know football better than I do, reckon Mateo Joseph will go on to be a very, very strong striker in European football. Whether it's at Leeds or not, that remains to be seen. Again, just to remind everyone, the Fanatics links are down below. If you're buying Leeds United merch directly from the club, you can buy it through those links. It will bring you to the official store, and that will help support the channel as well. It's the best way to support the channel at this point. That would be really appreciated. And the Creator Cup this Sunday, the 20th of July, John Charles Stadium for sport. Tickets and donation links down below. We'd love to see people there as well. Should be a lovely day, and there's a bar on tap as well, so a couple of points and a bit of football, why not? That's the day after Leeds play Manchester United as well, so lots floating around. Anyway, folks, I'll leave it there for now. If anything happens over the course of today, which might, likely something might come out, I'll jump back on with a live stream later on. Otherwise, it'll be tomorrow morning back with the news, and the podcast will be Wednesday this week. So that's the story, folks. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Mind yourselves. Bye.